This is Shirley from Alaska, the herbal lady. We're going to talk about chlorophyll, but this chlorophyll has ES after its name because ES stands for extra strength. A liquid chlorophyll is a source of chlorophyll, natural flavored with spearmint oil, and it contains no artificial color and no artificial preservative. Sodium copper chlorophyll, which is derived from natural plants, is water soluble. Chlorophyll has also been shown to be absorbed very quickly in your body. Chlorophyll has a long history of therapeutic uses in traditional medicine with no report of toxin effect over 50 years of clinical use in humans. I have many people that come in and buy chlorophyll, and one of them that we use chlorophyll with the spearmint is to increase if they just had a baby, and it increases the milk, and they really enjoy having more milk for the baby, and it does that. But another way, I had another lady come in and she said that she had a couple of days, I think it was like 3 or 4 days before she had to go in and get a blood transfusion because she was so low in iron. And I told her, I said, just take chlorophyll. So she took the bottle, and I think it's 16 ounces, and she put it in water, and she drank the whole thing in 3 days. She went in, and they said, oh, you've already been here for a transfusion. She said, no, I haven't. And they checked, and they said, you haven't. But she said, your points is up 3 points. And she said, I've been taking this chlorophyll. And so she came into the shop afterwards and came and told me that they didn't have to give her to give her more blood because her blood had went up 3 points. Well, this has happened I don't know how many times, even with children, when they are anemic. Chlorophyll is so wonderful, but if you're too acid, it makes you alkaline. If you don't have energy, it gives you energy when you get alkaline. So chlorophyll has been really good. And I have some people, they come in every month and get their bottle. I mean, they just live on chlorophyll. Chlorophyll has been studied for its anti-inflammation. It has healing properties, and it deodorizes. I have one lady, she gives it to her dog, puts it in water, and she said their breath smells like mint. And she started them when they was a puppy, because a lot of times when older dogs get it, they don't like it because they're not used to it. But if you start a puppy, they don't know no difference, and she just loves it for her dog. It helps with chlorophyll is used for urinary odor. It prevents bad breath. It reduces growth of staph. Clinical study with chemo it has a substance that prevents the development of cancer. Chlorophyll interferes and neutralizes the effort of cancer causing agent and antioxidant property. Chlorophyll also has been shown to increase the liver phases of phase 2 detoxification enzyme. I have one lady that's down in Texas. She owns a herb shop, and she takes a third of a cup in the morning and a third of a cup in the evening. And she said it helps to give her just lots more energy, and she said it helps to flush her liver out. Research indicates that chlorophyll hinders the intestine from uptaking toxin and promotes the elimination in the feces. So when you have chlorophyll in your colon, you don't absorb a lot of toxins, which that is great because there's almost everything we take, it's got toxins in it. A double-blind study trial in China, they had picked up some bad, I think it was corn, It was, Aflaflex. It's linked to liver cancer in the food supply. Aflaflex is certain fungus that's found in moldy grains in legumes, peanuts, soybeans, and corn. The study found that supplement with chlorophyll during the meals helped the urinary to get rid of the toxins, and the biomarkers went down. The research concluded that sodium chlorophyll lowered the risk of developing liver cancer, which is the leading cause of cancer in China. Another study involved human volunteers confirmed that chlorophyll pre-treatment helps the absorption of flat toxin, which you don't want to absorb. You want to, when they absorb it, it made it neutral and neutralized the toxin. And chlorophyll is anti-inflammatory. It's wound healing. It's deodorizer. It helps with urinary odor and reduces the growth of staph bacteria caused by food poisoning. And what it had on it, the next herb that we're going to talk about is spearmint, because it has spearmint in it, the chlorophyll does. And spearmint, it's the difference between peppermint. Peppermint is much stronger. When you breathe it in, you can feel how strong it is, but spearmint is much gentle. It's real gentle. They say it has a cooling effect in the mouth. Spearmint is not native to this country, even in Europe, but it's native to the Mediterranean nations. It was introduced in Britain by the Romans, who used it extensively. It is a mint that grows in almost every garden in England. Spearmint is popular herb, releasing the fragrance as people trod upon it, and that's what they used to do back then. They would throw it in their where they worship. They would put it on the floor. When they had banquets, they put it on the floor, and when you walk on it, you smell spearmint. It would just go, and they would put it on the tables, and people would put dishes down, and you would smell spearmint. And it helps to kill bacteria and everything in the air too. But spearmint is really, it's a very calming herb. The early Persians and Arabs used spearmint as flavor for their drink. Spearmint is mentioned in the English garden mint and recommended friendly for a weakened stomach and powerful against any nervous problem. Poem. People that writes poems all the time in England. He said, the smell rejoices the heat of man for the cause they use in the chambers and places of recreation and the pleasure and feast of banquets are made. And what he's saying is they spewed spearmint just across everything, that when they had any kind of banquet, any kind of party or anything, spearmint was on the floor and all over the tables. Spearmint eases all manners of breaking out. It takes care of sores. It increases the milk in women's breasts. Spearmint helps digestion. It helps a cold liver. It strengthens the body. It stops people from vomiting. It stops hiccups. It would serve as a gargle for bad breath and sore gums. In Athens, every part of the body was perfumed with different scents, but mint was especially designed for the arms. That's what they did. And in 1525, Chlorophyll wrote extensively about spearmint. He found 40 distinct problems which the herb would cure. It helped with hiccups and vomiting, memory, gargling, cure the mouth gum disease, useful for washing children's heads. They had sores on their head, mixed with vinegar that got rid of scurf, helped the children with gravel and stone in the kidneys. In England during the century, mint used to whiten the teeth, the oil used to flavor the toothpaste, and in America, it flavored candy and chewing gum. In 1890, Americans chewed spearmint gum. Spearmint was introduced by the Pilgrim Fathers when they landed in America. It is mentioned among the many other plants they brought from England on the list given by John Jocelyn. So we need to thank them for the spearmint. Spearmint was useful in colds, flu, fever, indigestion, gas, cramps, spasms. Spearmint is ability to help the sickest person. Spearmint oil is a substance that helps with nausea and vomiting. Spearmint oil is often used for digestion problems, gas, and indigestion. Double-blind study confirms that spearmint is safe, therapeutic, and it helps even with chemotherapy. It helps with the vomiting and the nausea. Spearmint is antibacterial, antifungus, and even helps with H. pylori and strep, a bacteria that causes tooth decay, salmonella caused by foodborne and food poisoning. I hope you enjoy the chlorophyll and spearmint. It's mixed together, and honestly, it has helped thousands and thousands of people. So enjoy your chlorophyll.